Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hi. It's me, it's Bob Doyle. Now, this better be working. Because yesterday, well, we had some issues. But I think we're all here today. I'm just pulling it up over here on my trusty iPad where I see some of your comments. And there I am, right where I belong. Turning myself down. Sarah's here in the house. Hi, Sarah. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, dear Sarah. Good morning to you. And Steve is here as well, ladies and gentlemen. We just got the cool people in the house. What's happening? Would you like to be one of the cool people? Well, there is a process, which I can tell you about, and I will later. Hi, Kathy. And Pink Jackie Brown. That is so fun to say. Yes, it's working. Well, good morning, everyone. Again, a reminder, I am Bob Doyle. I'm here for a Law of Attraction Q&A. Who is Bob Doyle, you ask? Well, first, back in 2004. Now, look, I've been teaching Law of Attraction since 2002. That's a long time. Do you know that means I've invested however many years that is? 17 years? Something like that? In one thing, well, not one thing, but in a certain course of study. Do you know that lawyers and doctors go to school for 8 years, and then, right? I got more time than that. So it's a long time. I have a certain body of work behind me. This is just some of it. We've got the Wealth Beyond Reason book, my first book, based on the Wealth Beyond Reason program, an online program that was later discovered by the producers of the film and book The Secret. The Secret book looks like this. The Secret DVD looks like this. And I got something here which nobody, including myself, has. You know what this is? This is just a bit of trivia while we let people come into the room. Now, look, by the way, you should be sharing this. It's just kind of part of the deal. It's law of attraction. You're supposed to be spreading the love. This is the very first copy of The Secret I ever got. This was back from January 2006. They sent it just like this. No packaging, no nothing. This is the original, the pre-release. Not that many of these in the world, ladies and gentlemen. We start the bidding at $8 million. Okay. I know, that's way too low, so I was just kidding, obviously. So, I'm here to answer your law of attraction questions. So you need to ask them. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here talking, which is what these things are turning into. But I do like to take the opportunity while we're gearing up for questions to kind of help people sort of relive the basics. Refamiliarize themselves with the basics of what the law of attraction is. And really, when you think about why do you even want to know what the law of attraction is in the first place, right? It's because I want my life to be different than it is right now. That's the only reason I can think of, unless you're just interested in various aspects of science and physics and things like that. Is that the one with Abraham Hicks? Yes, that first edition of The Secret has Abraham in it. That's right. Collector's item. Oh, I forgot to continue. I also have this DVD called The Law of Attraction. I also have this book, Follow Your Passion, Find Your Power, which has been translated into dozens of languages, including this one, and I have no idea what it is. So I'm out there. So hopefully, if you ask me a question, I give you an answer, you'll give me some credit and take action on it and see the results. I can't make you do it. But anyway, so you want to learn about the law of attraction, right? Because you want to modify, you want to enhance some of the aspects of your life, right? But a lot of times we aren't really even clear on how we want to do that. We just know we want to do it. Like we don't know what we want, but we know what we don't want. The problem with that is, and it's a good start, the problem of course is if you've got all your attention on what you don't want, then what you bring into your whole law of attraction exercises is a lot of energy and emotion around what you don't want. And it's right up there. I'd say top 5 things that stop the law of attraction for working for people the way they want to is because they go into it thinking that they're using it to create their dream life, but what their focus is really on energetically and emotionally is everything that's wrong with their life And then they're saying that's why I want more money, or that's why, I hate this stupid house, so I want a better one, right? But all the energy is in their stupid house. Right, so when you learn about the law of attraction, the very first thing you need to do is get really clear on what your vision is and why. Why? Who are you in this? And I was talking about college before. A little bit. I alluded to it. We don't learn the very basic. We get guided so off of our path of knowing who we are, exploring who we are, appreciating who we are for our unique differences, and get so pushed into here's how to be like everybody else. So early in life. It's all fun and games for 2 or 3 years, and then we get into a school system and then they go, well, now we need some order. So we need to kind of corral you all through this thing and give you some similar ideas of what success is and give you some similar ideas of what prosperity is. Give you some ideas about what's good, what's bad, what's acceptable, who's smart, who's not smart, right? You learn all this stuff and it shapes your belief systems. And then you become an adult and you don't know who you are or what you want or why or even if it has value or merit or any of that stuff, right? Because you haven't been told that your passion, in many cases, we're told that the passion stuff, the things we really love to do the most, should be relegated to hobbies, right? Things that you make time for, things you'll be able to do when you retire. But if we didn't have that structure in place and we were all just left to explore our passions and express ourselves who we really were without this judgment and say, no, that's wrong, you should be like this, just think what a different world it would be if we could all just explore and build on our passions. And guys, that's my personal story, and so many people. I went through traditional education and I was going to be on the radio, and and I knew what my career was going to be. Right? And I studied and I spent all that time and money in the typical education system. I went out there in the workforce and I did it for a few years and I said, oops, this isn't what I want. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm not expressing myself enough to feel alive. I'm actually really glad I saw that and realized how important it was to me to express myself creatively, because I always thought that radio was going to be it. And then when it wasn't, it was very disillusioning. So what was I supposed to do? Just stay in it like so many people do in their careers and go, well, I guess this is just it. I studied for it. I've got a degree in it. I spent tens of thousands of dollars to learn to do it. I may as well just stay here and wish I could do something else, but have tons of excuses as to why I can't and why it's too late. That's what most people do. But there are those people who reach a breaking point and go, no, this is not the life I'm here to live. I know this because I wake up feeling lost. I wake up feeling depressed. I wake up feeling fearful. I've gotten off track somehow. How can I get back on track? Well, the good news is you can. You can, and that's what this work should really be about. Not about learning some magic potion and a trick to make things manifest out of thin air. The manifestation stuff takes place as a result of your clarity onto what you want, why, and how it's going to make you feel, and who you want to be. If you didn't ever even think about how the law of attraction works, it would still work for you. You understand that, right? It doesn't need you to understand it to work. The reason you need to understand anything is to understand how detrimental your clinging to limiting beliefs are. Why fighting for your limitations is only making them true. So sometimes an understanding of what's going on at at the level of physics and at that invisible level will help you wake up and say, yes, okay, you're right. Obviously, my thoughts, my limiting beliefs around money or career or love are going to have an impact. If you don't get that, you will always feel at the mercy of life. That you have an impact, and that most of us are running on autopilot and just cruising along with our feelings. Why do I feel like everyone who's watching this already knows all this stuff? Because we've been working together. So that's why it's important that you share this, folks, with people. Share this stuff with people. I'm telling you, this stuff that I'm talking about right now, this very basic stuff that isn't even the how it works, is so important. It's the foundation of the whole thing. Who are you? Who do you want to be? It's in your being and knowing who you want to be that the rest of it takes shape. You don't create yourself from the outside in. You don't go, I'm going to create by getting this big house and this money. Why? Why are you doing this? Who do you think you're going to create? If you're not sure who you are and how this all plays in, what do you think's going to happen? Let me tell you from personal experience. You'll be confused, you'll be unclear, and you'll go, wait a minute, okay, so I got all this stuff, but who am I still? Who am I in this situation? Who am I with this much money? Who am I in this house? I didn't think about that. I just worked so hard on attracting it, and now I'm still being my old self. I'm never going to hang on to this. And that is true. Hi, Rodrigo. Welcome. The truth about learning the law of attraction, guys, is it's a whole new way of learning how to live, how to think, how to be. You don't learn that in 7 days or a 3-day course you don't learn it like that. It's your whole life. You learn it through experiential practicing of these principles and your vision and all that every single day, because that's what we should have been doing in the first place. Think about the principles and the practices that you're living every day right now, like clockwork. Like ceremony. Well, I wake up and I worry. That's what I do. That's the first part of my day. And then I think, and then I dread going to work. This is what you have wired. And that's why you're living it. And you didn't even know you were doing it. It just sort of, you just kind of get swept along in that. And so because it's been so many years and because you're wired so deeply, it takes a different kind of education. It takes a different experience to change it permanently. Watching Q&As and buying law of attraction programs and things like that is a good start. It lays a foundation. And I'm well aware of this. I'm well aware that when I do these live Q&As and you ask your questions and I answer them, 3% of people will actually go do what I say, will actually change their mindset. 3% if I'm lucky. Because I'm just giving free advice on the internet. Most people have perceived no value or very little. They look for a little aha here and there or whatever, but they're not really there to change their lives. And that's why, I've totally changed the way I do things. I don't push my programs anymore, my digital programs. They are sold through another company now. But what I do is I work with people for a long time at a time, because that's the way I know I can help people understand from day to day these principles. And when they start to get strayed or their ego kicks in or whatever, there's somebody right there to bring them there. This is the value of coaching in general. You're trying to take a lifetime of behavior and get it to change in a week or 60 days or 90 days or even a year. It might take longer, but it's so worth the investment. Think about the years of investment that you have put into creating the life you have now. Wouldn't it be worth it to take another year or whatever, to have the rest of your life be awesome and in alignment with who you are and what you really want? Are you really in the position where oh no, I've already spent all my money, all my years on my education. This is it. I'm not spending any more money. I'm not going to pay anybody anything. I'm not going to get coached. This is it. That's how some people respond. I'm sitting here saying, hey, we've got all sorts of different ways, mostly with our group coaching, that we can absolutely change the course of your life. Absolutely. Do you want to start undoing this? Do you want to start, or no, because it costs money? Oh, okay, I see. So you spend all that money, tens of them, way more than you'd ever spend with me or anything, right? On an education that got you where you were. But I'm saying, well, look, how about you take my 15 years or 17 years of information and education and teaching this and experience, which is 3 times longer than your college education, and let me compress it for you. And why don't you actually take the coaching, even though it can be challenging, do it and watch changes happen in your life. But at this point, so many people are jaded. Bob, I bought all these programs. I know. Well, were they with you every day? Did they do this? Did they hold you accountable? No? Then it's not the same. It's apples and oranges. Again, I said this yesterday. This isn't the only thing I'm up to in my life. I have creative outlets in all sorts of areas. But I love teaching this stuff. Right? But it's not the only thing I'm about. But I have invested more time in this than anything else in my life. And I believe, if I'm to believe the feedback I get, that the results of that and how I'm coaching people and how I'm moving things are making a difference. So hooray. And to me, just like people study and they get their degrees and they spend all that money so that they can go out there and charge for their services or get a salary, I charge for what I do too. And it's interesting in the personal development space, the law of attraction, you charge how, because you should be giving this away. And why? Why exactly? I've invested time and money, years of my life, just like you did do you go to work and say, I don't want you to pay me? Do you learn a craft for years and years and years and then go try to market that craft, sell that, and then say, but no money though. You take your doctorate degree that you spent all that time and money on, and you expect people to not pay for that. Let's see. Irma says, I'm a first share of today. Probably watched The Secret about 8 times before I could grasp the concepts because I was so locked into my truth and did not understand how to get at tapping, EFT, mirror work, and journaling since 2015. I'm just now able to make positive things happen for me because of my feelings. It takes some time. Yes, thank you for saying that, Irma. And Jim is here in YouTube, and I did not understand, Jim, yesterday when you were leaving all your comments that you were saying that because you couldn't see me. I thought you could see me, and it wasn't until afterward that I realized that, I wasn't broadcasting at all. Anyway, one moment, because otherwise this is going to get lukewarm, and then, Okay. Oopsie. So does anyone have any questions? One of the things that I have been talking about here is the group coaching program. It's how, look, here's the thing. Before people start jumping on me about, you're just selling this thing, you're pitching thing, this is what I do. I've stopped pushing. I hardly ever email. If I email, it's about this. Sometimes I will email about some of my colleagues like Christy Whitman who have, I think, exceptional things to offer, but I rarely email. The way that I now channel my education and my experience in this conversation is through 2 ways mostly. These free Law of Attraction Q&As and the group coaching. And the group coaching is where you're really doing it. So if you want the best of what Boundless Living and its 17 years of doing this has to offer, I invite you to consider the group coaching and the investment in it and what you can get out of it. Again, I will be talking more and more about it as we get closer, but it starts on February 3rd. 20 people is the maximum because it is a group. And I pay, and some of the people who are in my group are in this room right now, and they will tell you, I spend a lot of time in there giving people personal attention, any more than 20, and I'd go crazy. Lena says, tell us more about how the coaching works. And just so you know that someone really did say that. So it's 90 days, and we meet weekly, live, just like this, except in a private Facebook group. And so for the first part of the 90 days, I'm doing some foundational work. We're talking about the deep, what is the law of attraction? How the stuff you think you already know? We talk about that. We talk about resistance. We talk about release techniques. We talk about all the fundamental stuff on those live Q&As, just like this, except it's in a group and I'm talking to specific people, okay? In between that time, I'm in that group almost 24/7. I'm answering questions through video. I'm answering questions through comments. From time to time, I'll do spontaneous live broadcasts during the course of the week if the group has a need. It's very organic because there is a very definite group and energy dynamic. It's a big family affair. You get really close to these people. And as a group, you'll see that there are certain needs that come up. It's different for every group. I've been doing this for over a year now with these different coaching programs. Every group has a little bit different direction they need to go. So I go there, There is hot seat coaching where we get face-to-face and I give you direct coaching. So you're getting ridiculous amounts of personal coaching and attention and accountability inside the group, the support of the group, 24/7 access to the whole thing. We go over, we've had guest speakers in there. We talk about all different ways to deal with the limiting, everything that's stopping you, we deal with. That's basically what we're here to do, is to bring down the stuff that is stopping you. It can get intense. It's a lot of fun. There's laughing. There's crying. It's got the whole thing, adventure, thrills, chills, romance. It's an amazing ride. Anybody in the room want to? Oh, they are. Okay. So see, I'm getting the support. So I'm telling you, it's not like any group coaching program you've ever done. I know everybody in the world says that. I know that. But the reason I talk about this is because this is my offering, guys. This is how I help people in the law of attraction space now. All the free stuff, which is plentiful. If you go to boundlessliving.com and you do the little, okay, I'll get your email stuff, which is very rare, but you'll get sent to a page of tons of free stuff, podcasts and hours and probably days of these recorded things. I mean, there's so much free. And I'm happy to have always done that. I've put tons of free stuff out there. I really think that all the information you need is out there for free already. However, the structure of the group makes the huge difference. It is concentrated 90 days. It's a lot harder just to wander off, right, and not be accountable, because you want to show up for these people. You want to support the other people, and you want to be supported. You know, and even if you think you're not a people person, I promise you that can change in here. Sarah says, amazing ride. Steve says it's transformational. Marion says we post daily, and Bob responds sometimes nearly immediately. Yeah, it's an investment. And it's not just financial, guys. Okay? So I'm telling you, it's the real deal. It's not just financial. It is emotional investment. It is time investment. It's a commitment to yourself like no other. You know, this isn't, I don't know how to even say it, except that, you know, we're not monkeying around. This is super advanced, and it can be intense, but I think we do a fine job of keeping it fun and real and keeping everybody on the forward motion. It's really something special. I can't, you know, a year and a half ago, it wasn't my plan to do this. I did one 30-day coaching program. I said, wow, that really felt good. Let's do another one and another one. And then we tried 90 days this last time. I go, well, that's it. 90 days is the one, because that's enough time. I mean, a lot will happen in that 90 days. You'll go up and feel great, and then you'll have a shift, and just like. But the thing is, the difference is when you have those downs, and we all do. You've got a safety net. You've got support. You've got somebody almost immediately. If it's not me, it's one of the other group coming in to support you and remind you of how awesome you are and what you're here to do, right? Or point you towards a resource or remind you of something you forgot. And a lot of times this law of attraction journey is something that people go on all by themselves, and it's no wonder they stop. It's no wonder they quit. If they're surrounded by people who are negative, who don't believe in this stuff, who knew you when you were a different person, when you had different visions, when you didn't have high aspirations, when you weren't committed to living a life of passion, when you're surrounded by those people and you take on this commitment, my God, it's going to ruffle some feathers. It's going to shake people up. They're going to get challenged, and it will make it difficult. And how many people does this resonate with? And you bail. It's just too hard to be not supported in a conversation like this, which is about your life changing in a major way. So the group. I can't tell you. I've lost count. I can't tell you how many times there are posts in our group about just saying, I am so grateful for this group. I am so grateful for you guys. I am so grateful for da-da-da. Because if you can experience the contrast of feeling completely alone in a conversation around your vision to being 100% supported by a whole big group of people, it's tremendous. Sinovi, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thanks for liking my Instagram posts. I'm having way too much fun on Instagram these days. Way too much fun. Dawn, I would love to have you in the group. Are you kidding me? Well, anyway, so we got all this nice stuff being said. I really hadn't intended on going off on it like that, but I did, so there you go. And in that quote unquote quote pitch for my group coaching, there was actual teaching points. Hopefully you see some behavior. You see, like, yes, I do think like that, or I do have my stops like this, and I do understand that this is why I probably haven't had advancement in this particular area, because I quit, because I don't have the support, because I go back to my limited thinking, because I'm thinking about it like a problem instead of a vision. All of these things. And if you've been working with the law of attraction for a number of years and feel stuck and like it's not going anywhere, God, please get in here, make the investment in time and money and energy and the whole thing, and get the adjustment you need to make this a way of life for you. Because the thing is, you can't unlearn what you learn in this group. Your ego will try to make you forget, but you can't really forget, which will make it more and more difficult for you to limit yourself on down the line, for you to say okay to a belief that doesn't serve your vision. You know, you will always strive for better because you'll know it's possible. And you'll know that if you're not achieving it, it's just a matter of tweaking a mindset, of changing a little bit of programming, which takes the time and it takes the commitment. 90 days. Darn good start. Thank you, Dawn. You're very nice. Hi, Chris. Welcome. Okay, so anyone have a law of attraction question? That's what we're here for. Let's see. I'm trying to now think of some of the others, you know, that I got from some of the others that I didn't get to answer. Some very common questions, how you deal with negative people. Well, I did actually touch on that. You know, the thing about negative people is you're not going to change them. They will only change themselves. And you hooking into their negativity or buying into it or getting affected by it only strengthens that energy. You've got to learn to hold your own energetic space and know the value of doing that. You know, but here's the thing. Like I said before, when you change your predominant overall vibration, which happens when you change your course in life and your, you know, your overall goals, it just changes things energetically. It will create different energetic relationships with people in your life now than you've had before, and it will manifest in a variety of ways. But a lot of times it's them occurring as negative. Because here's the other thing. Because you've been in alignment with them your whole life, there's some similarity. There's a reason they've been in your life. Well, now you're changing this, and then you see that behavior, and you're going to call it negative, and you're going to get angry at them for being negative. You're going to get angry at them. Why can't they just be more positive? You a year ago were just like them, right? You made a conscious decision to change it. You can't make that for them. So you need a little bit of compassion for their negativity. They're doing the best they can with the information they've got. The goal here is for you to not be affected by it. The reason you're affected by it a lot of times is I'm trying so hard to get positive and you are reminding me of how I used to be. It's a reminder that it's like a message that says, no, you can't be that because this is who you are. You're a negative person like this. And you're wanting to fight that with all you've got. And so you get mad at this person for just being who they currently are being. Does that sound familiar to any of you? I know it does. Don't try to lie to me. Again, though, if you're doing this solo and you're surrounded by negative people or people who were just like you before, and now it makes it difficult for you, where are you going to go? So, here's one idea. Let's see, and Cinevie was just about to ask how to deal with negative people. See, I told you I'm tuned into you guys. But yeah, the negative people thing is huge. Relationships in general are huge. And of course, we spend a huge amount of time on relationships. Parental relationships, friend relationships. What's the word I'm looking for? Why the significant primary relationships. We covered all. Marriage, divorce, separation. I'm telling you, it's an action adventure in there. with thrills and chills. Doesn't that sound fun? And you're a part of it. Look at this. We've got a question. Jim is in Madrid. Manifested that pretty well. Yes. What would be the best method to bring a girlfriend into my life by the holidays? Okay, Jim, don't put a freaking time limit on it. Here's why. Number one, all you'll do every day is focus on her not being there before the holiday. That's all you'll do, is every day will be noticing that she's not there. And that's not the vibration you want to put out. Number two, hopefully your goal isn't just a little holiday fling. You want a real relationship, right? So you want somebody who is in your life based on who they are in relationship to who you are. So first, number one law, for anyone who wants to bring in the one, you got to be who you want to be. You got to be the best version of you. You got to love yourself. Love yourself. Like, yep, this is a catch. And then just be that. Be that. Go out there and be that. Express yourself. Let the world know who you are without apology, without compromise, without changing who you are to make anybody else happy. That's how you attract the right person, because they're seeing the authentic you. And it will happen at the exact right time, not your timetable. It might happen before the holiday, but what you want in a relationship, I think, is long-term happiness, not a quick fix before the holiday. Now, if that's what you want, go download an app. Mike Renna. Right. Okay, see, we got a few questions in there, and right at the half-hour point. So now I'm gonna talk for 30 more seconds, and if another question comes in, I will certainly answer it, because I know we're light on questions today. But that wasn't my fault. I would have stopped talking about group coaching if someone had. See, I can't keep clicking over here, and then the button. Never mind. Anyway, anybody else? Okay, Colleen, cool to be here. I would like a new career. Okay, awesome. See, this is good. Ba-bum. I need a producer in here now. I'd like a new career. I'm 58. I'd like to do something that helps people. I'm wanting to leave nursing. Thank you for being here with us. Okay, so this would be a conversation that we would have. I would ask you, what is it about nursing? You know, well, what do you want to do? If you know, you'll tell me. If you don't know, we'll say, well, what is it about? What drew you to nursing? Well, we gotta get your core values, what you're passionate about. How do you see helping people in another career? You know, what are your current ideas? What's your intuitive thing? So we have to have that conversation. But the idea is, first you got to create it in your mind. You got to have some idea of at least how you want to feel doing this thing. Right? Like, you really want to take those aspects of maybe that you loved about nursing or people or whatever it is that you're doing, and really expand those and really get a sense of, this is the feeling I want to feel. And then the universe very often fills in the details and gives you an idea of, well, this is how you might do this. Or at the very least, the next action step to take. That's how intuition works. So you get first clear on your vision, but don't tell yourself, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Don't do that. Everybody does that. And then you spin this vibration of, I don't know what it is. And the universe says, okay, fine, you don't know. Here's more confusion. So don't worry about figuring out the what it is. Figure out the feeling and be really, really clear on that. And any other details you can fill in, like what would you like your day to go like? How much time do you want to have to live your life? You know, how much time do you want to be working? Do you know the types of people you want to be working with? Right? So as many details as you currently have, put them in there and create that feeling, and then see what unfolds. Okay. Genevieve says a new home. Same thing. Get clear on the feeling you want of that. Who are you being in that new home, right? How is the new home congruent with or in vibrational alignment with this version of you? Now, I know I'm just throwing these things out there like you'll just get it and say, oh yeah, I see exactly what he means. No, sometimes that can take some time. But yeah, so Colleen's saying she's not sure what she wants yet. So we need to get some clarity, at least on what you want to feel like and who you want to be. If you can get those two things, because a lot of us don't know the details. Guys, if we had the details, we'd just, go out and do it. A lot of us would. But we don't know. Well, what are we supposed to do? That's true more than not, I think. Especially for adults, We're confused. We don't even know how to think about what we want anymore. So let's think about how we want to feel, because that we can tap into based on the frustration that we're feeling, using how we're what we don't like about how we're feeling as a launch pad to saying, but the opposite of that is gratitude or abundance or love or whatever it is. So anyway, I think we've made some progress today. What do you guys think? All right, so look, next Tuesday I'm back on schedule. I know what happened technically yesterday. I'm not going to explain it to you because that's boring. It worked today, so it'll work next Tuesday too. So, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate that and all your other holidays. It'll be after that the next time we talk, as I look at the calendar. So happy holidays and all that other stuff. I'll be on Facebook, you know, Bob Doyle Show here and there. I don't know, whatever. But I won't do another Q&A until next Tuesday. Hope to see you all here. And of course, bring along everybody you know.